The invitation sat on my desk, its gold embossing catching the morning light. Celebrate the promotion of Michael Harrison to Vice President of Operations. I traced my fingers over the raised letters, remembering all the times my brother had stepped on me to climb his corporate ladder. I almost threw it away. But something made me hold on to it, maybe the same instinct that had led me to build my empire in secret for the past 5 years. Miss Harrison? My assistant Julia knocked gently on my office door. The board members are ready for your call about the Sterling Tech acquisition. I nodded, tucking the invitation into my drawer. Few people knew that Emma Harrison, the quiet girl who'd left her family's company 5 years ago, was now the mysterious chairman of Phoenix Enterprises, one of the largest technology investment firms in the country. My brother certainly didn't know. Neither did my parents, who'd supported his every move while dismissing my unrealistic business ideas. Tell them I'll be there in 5 minutes, I said to Julia, straightening my suit jacket. She hesitated at the door. Also, your mother called again. About your brother's promotion party. I managed a small smile. Tell her I'll think about it. After she left, I walked to the window of my penthouse office, looking out over the city skyline. Somewhere out there, in another gleaming tower, my brother was probably practicing his victory speech, never suspecting that his new position existed only because I had arranged it. The truth was I own not just Phoenix Enterprises, but also a controlling interest in Harrison Industries, my family's company, through a complex web of shell corporations and investment vehicles. Every major decision, every promotion, every strategic move had to be approved by the mysterious chairman, who never attended meetings in person. 5 years ago things had been different. I was just Emma, the quiet daughter who worked in the family business's marketing department, always overshadowed by my older brother Michael. While he got fast-tracked to management positions, I spent my evenings studying market trends and developing investment strategies. I remembered the day everything changed. I had prepared a detailed proposal for modernizing Harrison Industries' technology infrastructure. Really, Emma? Michael had laughed during the board meeting. Leave the big decisions to people who understand business. Why don't you stick to making pretty PowerPoint slides? My father, CEO of Harrison Industries, had just shrugged apologetically. Emma, honey, Michael has more experience in these matters. That night I made a decision. I withdrew my entire inheritance, a considerably smaller sum than Michael's, and started investing. I had seen something they hadn't. Small tech companies with revolutionary ideas but no capital. I bought stakes in these companies, nurtured them, and watched my investments multiply. Within 2 years, Phoenix Enterprises was born. Within 3, we were a major player in the tech investment world. By year 4, I had secretly gained control of Harrison Industries through a series of quiet stock purchases. Now at 32 I controlled a business empire worth billions. But to my family I was still just Emma, the daughter who'd failed to make it in the family business. The week before Michael's promotion party, I sat through another board meeting via video conference, my camera off as usual. The board members knew me only as chairman, my voice disguised by software. The promotion of Michael Harrison to VP of Operations, one board member was saying, it's a bit unusual. He's rather young for such responsibility. The chairman has approved it, my CEO, David Chin, responded firmly. He was one of the few people who knew my true identity. That's all that matters. I smiled to myself. Michael's promotion was indeed unusual. It was a position I had created specifically to give him enough rope to hang himself with. His arrogance and poor decision-making would become apparent to everyone, including our father. The night of the promotion party arrived crisp and clear. I stood in my walk-in closet considering my options. Finally, I chose a simple black designer dress, elegant but understated. Tonight wasn't about standing out. It was about watching my brother's perfect world begin to crack. The grand ballroom of the Ritz-Carlton was already crowded when I arrived. Crystal chandeliers cast a warm glow over the gathered executives and family members. My mother spotted me first. Emma, you came. She hurried over, air-kissing my cheek. And you look nice. Her slight pause spoke volumes. Next to her own and my sister-in-law's designer gowns, she clearly found my appearance lacking. Thanks, Mom. Congratulations on Michael's promotion. Yes, isn't it wonderful? Your father's so proud. Michael's following right in his footsteps. She glanced at my simple dress again. And what exactly are you doing these days? Before I could answer, Michael's booming voice cut across the room. Well, look who decided to show up. He strode over, already slightly drunk on success and expensive champagne. Come to see what real success looks like, sis? I took a sip of water, saying nothing. You know, he continued, loud enough for nearby guests to hear, I tried to get you a job in the mailroom. But Dad said it might be too challenging for you. A few people chuckled. My mother gave an awkward laugh. Michael, be nice to your sister. Oh, I am being nice. He smirked, swirling his champagne. I mean, someone has to be the family failure, right? Can't all be winners. I watched him, thinking about the reports on my desk showing his department's massive inefficiencies. About the proposals he'd approved without proper review. About the contracts he'd lost through sheer arrogance. Still a nobody after all these years, he continued. While I'm becoming VP of operations. But hey, at least you can tell people your brother's successful, right? Just then David Chin, my CEO, walked into the ballroom. His eyes scanned the room and found me. I gave him the slightest of nods. He walked over, his face professionally pleasant. Mr. Harrison, congratulations on the promotion. Thank you, Michael preened. It's about time the board recognized my potential. David's eyes turned to me and he smiled. Chairman, I didn't expect you here tonight. The room went absolutely silent. My mother's champagne glass stopped halfway to her lips. Michael's smug grin froze on his face. Chairman, he whispered, his voice suddenly hoarse. I set down my water glass carefully. Hello, David. Lovely party, isn't it? Emma. My mother's voice was barely audible. What is he talking about? Michael's face had turned an interesting shade of white. There must be some mistake. Emma's not, she can't be. David pulled out his phone, bringing up a company document. Emma Harrison, founder and chairman of Phoenix Enterprises, majority shareholder of Harrison Industries. He looked at my brother with cool professionalism. Your boss. The silence in the ballroom was deafening. I could almost hear the gears turning in my brother's head as he tried to process this revelation. His new reality was crashing down around him, and his champagne-addled brain couldn't quite keep up. This is ridiculous, he finally sputtered. Emma she can't. Can't what, Michael? I asked softly. Can't run a successful company? Can't make strategic decisions? Can't be your boss? My father pushed through the crowd that had gathered around us. What's going on here? His authoritative voice, the one that had dominated board meetings for decades, now seemed strangely diminished. David Chin stepped forward smoothly. Mr. Harrison, I believe you haven't met Phoenix Enterprises chairman in person before. Allow me to introduce Emma Harrison. Dad's face went through a remarkable series of expressions, confusion, disbelief, shock, and finally, something that looked almost like fear. Phoenix Enterprises? The company that's been buying up our stock. 51% of it, to be exact, I confirmed. Though we've also acquired controlling interests in 7 other tech companies in the past 3 years. But Harrison Industries was always special to me. No. Michael's voice was sharp with denial. No, this is some kind of joke. Emma's nothing. She's nobody. She left the company because she couldn't handle real business. I pulled out my phone, pulled up an email and handed it to David. He read it aloud. Effective immediately, the position of VP of Operations is hereby eliminated. All related responsibilities will be reassigned to the executive management team. The color drained from Michael's face. You can't do that. Dad, tell her she can't do that. Our father looked lost, his usual confidence shattered. Emma, all this time? All this time, I confirmed. Every board meeting you attended via video conference with the mysterious chairman? That was me. Every major decision that saved the company millions? Those were my strategies. The technology modernization plan that Michael laughed at 5 years ago? I implemented it through Phoenix Enterprises and it tripled our market share. My mother finally found her voice. But you never said anything. All those family dinners where we talked about Michael's success. While you dismissed my little consulting work? I finished for her. Yes, I remember those dinners very well. The whispers around us were growing louder. Michael's perfect moment, his crowning achievement, had been completely overshadowed. He took a threatening step toward me. You planned this, he hissed. You deliberately humiliated me at my own party. No, Michael. You humiliated yourself. Still a nobody, remember? Those were your words, not mine. David cleared his throat. Should I announce the organizational changes now, Chairman? I smiled. No need, David. I think we've disrupted the party enough for one evening. I turned to my brother. We'll discuss the details of your new position on Monday. I believe there's an opening in the mailroom. You said it might be too challenging for me. Let's see how you handle it. This is insane, Michael exploded. Dad, you can't let her do this. This is our company. Our father had aged 10 years in the past 10 minutes. Emma owns controlling interest, Michael. She can do whatever she wants. I walked to the center of the room, tapping my glass for attention. The crowd fell silent, all eyes on me. I apologize for disrupting the festivities, I began. But since we're all here, I'd like to make an announcement. Starting Monday, Harrison Industries will be undergoing some significant changes. We'll be merging with Phoenix Enterprises Tech Division, modernizing our infrastructure and unfortunately, eliminating some redundant positions. I looked directly at Michael. Those affected will receive generous severance packages. Or, if they prefer, they can apply for new positions within the organization, based on merit, not family connections. The room erupted in murmurs. I saw board members huddled in corners, executives whispering frantically into phones. My mother had sunk into a chair, her perfect makeup couldn't hide her shock. Dad stood frozen, looking like a man who just discovered his world wasn't what he thought it was. Michael, his face now red with rage, stormed toward the exit, shoving past several guests. His wife hurried after him, shooting me a venomous look. I felt a presence at my elbow. It was David. That was quite a show, he murmured. Should I be worried about my job too? I smiled at him. Not at all. You've always treated me with respect even before you knew who I was. That counts for something. As the party disintegrated around us, my father finally approached me. He looked older, smaller somehow. Why Emma? He asked quietly. Why all the secrecy? Why not just tell us? Would you have believed me? Would you have given me the same chances you gave Michael? I met his eyes steadily. Or would you have dismissed my ideas like you always did? He had no answer for that. The next few weeks were a whirlwind of change. True to my word, I restructured Harrison Industries from top to bottom. Michael was offered a minor position in regional sales. A genuine opportunity to learn the business properly, though his pride wouldn't let him see it that way. He quit instead, trying to take several clients with him. They all stayed with us. My father, showing more wisdom than I'd expected, accepted the changes gracefully. He even asked to see the original technology modernization plan I'd proposed 5 years ago. This was brilliant, he admitted, reviewing it in my office one evening. We were fools not to see it. The market proved me right, I said simply. Yes, he sighed. Yes, it did. He looked around my office, larger than his now, and smiled sadly. I always thought I was preparing Michael to take over the company. I never realized I was pushing away the person who could actually lead it. 3 months after the party, I called my first in-person board meeting as chairman. The same people who had dismissed my ideas years ago now hung on my every word. Michael's old allies had either left or fallen in line. Even my mother had stopped making excuses for him at family dinners. The merger with Phoenix Enterprises has exceeded all projections, I concluded my presentation. Our stock price has doubled, our market share is at an all-time high, and our technology division is now an industry leader. After the meeting, my father lingered behind. I received Michael's latest email, he said. He's demanding I choose between him and you. Says he won't attend any family event where you're present. I kept my face neutral. And what did you tell him? I told him that he's my son and I love him. Dad straightened his shoulders. But you're the chairman of this company and I respect that. He needs to learn that success isn't handed down, it's earned. As he turned to leave, he paused at the door. For what it's worth, Emma, I'm sorry. For not seeing what was right in front of me all those years. I nodded, accepting his apology for what it was, a beginning. That evening, as I worked late in my office, Julia brought in a package. Inside was a framed newspaper article from 5 years ago, announcing Michael's promotion to department head. Scrawled across it in my father's handwriting were the words, "I was wrong about which child would make me proud." I hung it on my wall, right next to Phoenix Enterprises' first dollar. A reminder that sometimes the greatest success comes not from proving others wrong, but from proving yourself right. Michael never did accept his new reality. Last I heard, he was trying to start his own company, still trading on the Harrison name. But the business world had changed, connections and charm weren't enough anymore. Success required innovation, vision, and the kind of hard work he'd never had to do. As for me, I finally moved my office to the top floor of Harrison Industries headquarters. My name was on the building now, after all. Not because I was born a Harrison, but because I'd earned it. Sometimes at night, I look out over the city and think about that promotion party. About Michael's sneer when he called me a nobody. About the shock on his face when he learned the truth. But mostly I think about the lesson I learned. Success doesn't always announce itself with fanfare. Sometimes it works quietly, building something extraordinary while others aren't paying attention. And sometimes the sweetest victory isn't in proving your critics wrong, it's in proving yourself right.